Hey there folks, Pockets here. So welcome to the update video. A lot of stuff has happened over the last 7 months. Let me fill you in. For those of you who don't want to watch to the end, I've moved from Edinburgh in Scotland to Gloucester in England, and I'm going to be doing some changes to the YouTube channel. But don't panic, it's going to be fine. At the beginning of the year, I was about to finish off all the work on my second album and also start producing more YouTube content again because that production cycle was coming to an end. But in March, the whole world changed. I can't mention it by name because YouTube have scary bots that know exactly what you're looking for, but let's just say it begins with a letter C. It was absolutely terrifying to witness in one day a whole year's worth of work, gigs, concerts, tours, all gone in one day. Even the Edinburgh Festival Fringe was cancelled this year, which is the first time in its very long history. A large portion of my work was gone in the blink of an eye. I decided in a very panicky state to go into online creations fully, a mixture of daily live streams on Twitch and producing more content for the YouTube channel. I was definitely panicking. I thought to myself that as I worked alone in my studio, that even through the whole even through the whole situation, I would still be able to continue to work in my studio space. Some amazing people stepped forward to pick up some of the lost income from work that had been lost throughout the year with Twitch donations and patrons, gifted subs. I'm looking at you, Leoin and M. Absolute leg ends. All of this was massive, and seriously thank you to everyone who contributed. But as the whole country slowly started to come back to life, I suddenly realised that working from the studio was probably a pretty bad idea. The biggest problem is that my studio is in a space which is a public space. It was about to become very busy with members of the public. Along with some missteps from myself and others, I decided that working in that space for the time being was a very bad idea, so I went home. I locked the studio up, closed everything in it, and went home. I had to figure something else out. So here was the kind of solution. For most of the year prior, I'd been discussing with my partner about moving in with them, along with bringing my studio down to them. The problem was distance. My partner lived in a house in England, and I live in Scotland. So I had to figure out how to move all my stuff from Edinburgh to Gloucester. Now that's not a small trip, that's 280 miles. The good news was I had one of the problems completely sorted, and that was time. I was literally sitting around doing absolutely nothing because I had no access to my studio, and I was driving myself and the people around me absolutely insane. When I can't be creative, I tend to go a little bit mad. So I took all my savings, Twitch donations, Patreon money, any money I had in piggy banks. I sold a whole bunch of equipment and musical gear to pay for a moving van, flights, multiple flights, as I'll explain later, and started getting stuff ready. The first step was getting the house that I was going to be moving into ready for my arrival. So I flew down and did that. Did some DIY, painting, decorated the house. Took about a month and a bit. I flew back to Edinburgh afterwards to start packing up all my things, the studio and my home things. Loaded it into a moving van, and then I flew from Edinburgh to Gloucester. I can't drive, so I had to pay a company to do that. There's nothing quite as terrifying as seeing a stranger drive off with all of your belongings, work, memories, equipment, like life. I will never forget the fear. The fear! The move went pretty smoothly. I started to unpack and get things ready so that I could start working from the new space as soon as possible. It became apparent that I wouldn't be able to use an acoustic drum kit in this house, as I can hear the neighbour's phone alarm going off in the morning and them coughing and sneezing and dropping their keys. Like, the walls are like paper thin here. Also, along with the fact that I can't use an acoustic drum kit in this space, I actually have no furniture. So where I was staying before, all the furniture belonged to someone else. In my studio, all the furniture came with the space with the exception of the sofa, which was beyond rescuing. So after dealing with a very terrible company, avoid DV247 and the music store, as they lie about postage costs and then try to charge you extra after you've already paid. Seriously, screw those guys. I ended up going with a company called Thomann from Germany. I also picked up my mixing desk from them a year before. So about a week and a half later, a full-on massive truck, like a huge articulated truck, arrived in our street with one pallet full of new toys. It came with a piece of furniture, a desk for my sound desk, which is currently what everything's kind of set on just now. Here's a picture, and an electronic drum kit, which is currently behind me. So we're pretty much almost there. I still need to treat the space acoustically, as you can hear. And I'm also waiting for a speaker to be returned from a repair shop as it being sitting unused for 6 months had caused some damage to some capacitors, so that's on its way back to me now from the repair shop. The good news is I have pretty much everything I need to start making stuff again, no matter what. I'm going to start making stuff from right now. This is the first video. But the bad news is I am broke. The studio is about 70% finished in terms of production, so I need to treat the room acoustically, and I also need some instrument hangers, but I can work without these things for now. It's absolutely fine. I don't need to get these things right now. I can wait for them. Also, this is probably a good time as any to introduce you to my partner, Flick, who I've moved in with. I will just go get her. Hang on, give us 2 secs. So yeah, this is my partner, Flick. Say hey, Flick.
Hey, Flick.
Oh, come on. Flick is an artist and is also planning on doing some Twitch streams in the future, and will be featuring quite heavily on this channel and in my new album on vocals. So keep your eyes peeled out for what Flick does.
I have several Instagrams. My most famous Instagram will be of my cats, Beezy and Al.
Which is on screen right now.
I have my own Instagram, which is Felly Kitty with an IE. Because Kitty TTY was done. And
that's also your handle pretty much everywhere else, Felly Kitty. Cool, so you can follow her on Twitch as well. So, expect new things to start slowly coming out from this point on. I'm currently working on a new Twitch schedule, so don't forget to follow me over on Twitch. It's the same handle as here, which is Kazookeylele. As for YouTube changes, here comes the big changes. There's nothing too drastic, but still I would like to address these before people start getting confused. I've been doing mostly ukulele videos for the last 12 years. Is it actually 12 years? Hang on, It's actually been 12 years. Wow. So I think it's time to kind of slightly change things up a little bit. There'll still be some ukulele and Kazookeylele videos, so don't panic. They'll still be there. I will still be making those things, but I also want to try some other things. I want to try some new stuff. I want to push myself creatively. I can play more than just the ukulele. So I want to try out some new ideas for me to try and push myself, try and get a more dynamic range of stuff on the channel. I did experiment with this in the past by doing a bluegrass version of I Want to Break Free by Queen, and I also did Roots Bloody Roots on the guitar with a chicken vocalist. That was a lot of fun. The next video that's coming out is already out to patrons as of right now. It's a metal cover of a Britney Spears song, Hit Me Baby One More Time. If you want to see it early, just head on over to Patreon and pop a pledge on there, and you'll get early access to that and everything else, plus access to my entire back catalogue of music. But if you can't afford that, which I totally understand because this whole situation in the world right now is kind of ruining everybody, it'll be out for the public next week, so don't worry about it. Keep your eyes peeled for that. It's a fun one. Anywho, I've rambled on for long enough at this point. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on for so long. The music you've heard in the background is music I've created in this space as of right now. Also, I'm live on Twitch right now as the publishing of this video is happening. So if you want to hang out with me and ask me some questions and maybe join my Discord, head on over to my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/PocketsUke. Basically, it's the same as my YouTube channel, but I do live streams of music creation and video games and all sorts of stuff. On screen is a list of Patreons who've basically kept me alive during this whole period and helped pay for moving costs. And also here's a playlist of covers and comedy material up to this point for 12 years. My god, I'm old. Anywho, thanks for watching. Keep your eyes peeled for some more cool stuff, some more interesting happenings, and I'll see you in the next video next week. Pockets out.